You have 3 rounds. Figure it out.
Is there enough area underneath the gallows where they could land softly?
No. They are hanging there. And you don't know what's below there.
Fuck, I want to fire at one of the ropes. Is there one that looks like a woman? Because that's all I've heard about Callista. I'm going to fire...
Yep.
Okay, great. I will fire at that rope.
Okay, make an attack roll, please.
All right, that'll be a 19.
That is going to hit. Roll damage.
Okay, that'll be 9.
Cool. You hear the rope go, and Callista, you start to fall. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God. Jesus shit.
Is there any way to run, jump, catch Callista, and then land on
you certainly
the
cannot
floor?
catch me, little one.
Hey, man, you're not going to break your neck. Priorities.
Well, I got a natural 20, so...
Fantastic. So you fall forward, and you look down into the makeshift pit that was created for you with the large spike coming up. You throw out your arms and your legs, and you catch yourself with ease on the actual floor itself, and you're able to stand up and get rid of the prone position. You are there with the noose haphazardly hanging from your neck, not really too tight anymore, but it pulled in a lot when you first dropped. You feel a burning, ripping sensation in your neck. You also can remove the gag from your mouth.
Okay, I removed the gag from my mouth.
I feel more peaceful, like, wow, maybe this chick is actually useful.
Okay, that was your turn. Kent, Ismark is still hanging there along with Freak. Callista just hit the ground.
Currently, we have to rely on their dexterity saving throws at this point.
Potentially.
Because of my stupidity.
Go on. Keep going.
Right?
Go.
Okay, how close are they to a wall?
Not close to a wall at all. They're right in the middle of the room.
Fucking shit. All right, I'm going to fire at the rope.
Cool. Attack roll. Wait, at who? Ismark or Freak?
Freak.
Cool.
No, Ismark. Sorry.
Cool.
Is it too late to go back?
Nope, Ismark is fine. You're going to be in enough shit as is, so go ahead.
Okay, I got an 18.
18, cool. It hits. Roll damage, please.
12.
12, okay. Right through.
Guys, we've never, sprung a trap before. This is the first time.
Really?
Yeah, right?
Remember that lightning shield?
Hey, shh.
At the tower? I was there. You sprung that trap. I haven't
I don't know
played
what you're
for,
talking about.
months.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Ismark goes to catch himself and misses. He bounces off the floor and part of his leg hits the spike itself. He takes a bit of damage. You look at him and he was already beaten up and destroyed as is. He is hanging on, but he is gripping onto the top and trying to pull himself out. So, Kent, that was your turn. Callista, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go help Ismark. I'm gonna help
Okay.
him out of whatever the fuck.
So,
that is.
just make a strength check for me.
17.
17. Okay, you go to pull him out, and you are doing fine. He starts to struggle at first because he couldn't find purchase on the inside of it, but he's able to push himself off the spike in a non-hazardous way. Non-hazardous? Sure, whatever. Hazardless. Yay, new word. Pull him right out, and Ismark is now on the edge, and you were able to pull him out. Cool. Fenrichten, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move as far in as I can, and I'm not going to shoot the kids thing. I don't think I have anything for this. Okay. I'm just gonna run up as close as I can, and if the guy, Ismark, if he looks really damaged, I'm gonna cast healing on him.
Okay, super damaged. So go ahead.
Go ahead and do 19 damage.
Cool. You see as the healing goes right through him and the look of his eyes going almost blinking out of existence or just focus again. And he looks straight up at Freak and he's like, help him. Cool. That's it. Kent, your turn.
What are they hanging from?
They're hanging from nooses.
Yeah, but what is the top of the noose tied to?
The ceiling.
The ceiling? Shit.
And you are also noticing that the lanterns that were slowly falling, which seems magical in a way, obviously, is about halfway to the floor.
Oh,
and you are looking around, and you notice on your feet that there's a slippery substance under you.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to shoot Freak down.
Okay, go ahead, make an attack roll.
27.
Oh, let me say this really quick. Are you doing this from far away, or are you up there, trying to catch him after you shoot it?
I was planning on being up close.
Cool. Specifics. Use them. Attack roll. What is it?
Oh, sorry. It's a 27.
Fantastic. Roll damage, please.
I got a 9.
Fantastic. Dexterity saving throw, please.
An 11.
Okay. As Freak starts to fall, he's an 8-year-old boy. he is not going to be very heavy to lift, but it's not really the question of lifting. It is the question of knocking him out of the way. So as he starts to fall, he goes to grab, but he's not catching anything. And as soon as he's about your height, which you're, about the same height, you push forward and knock him off. And he rolls on the floor, avoiding the spike trap. But you see, he's looking down and he's wiping stuff off of him now. That is your turn. Callista, your turn.
Van Richten would like to start screaming, "Get out of the range of fire! It's gonna blow!"
Yeah. So I'm going to, my life was in danger, bitch. I'm getting out of here. So I'm fucking trying to leave this godforsaken place. Take me away. I'm running as far as I can to the fucking front door.
Okay, Callista with the dash and your rogue and everything, you are out the front door and you're like, oh, hey, there's a cart here.
Oh, also, I just want to scream, Kent, come on. And then I'm gonna leave because I can't leave Kent behind. That's sad.
Kent got you into this mess, guys. Look at him. He was just so excited. He wanted to make sure that you were alive. Can't blame him.
Ismark turns around, sees Callista's running out, turns to everybody else and go, I have the kid. Get out. And he turns around, grabs Freak, and starts to run to the door. He's about halfway to the door right now. Van Richten, Kent, is it safe to say that you guys are just running? Is there anything else you guys want to do?
If everybody's out, that's good.
Yeah, there's no way for me to, make the kid and Ismark run faster, right?
Not unless you, kind of push him in a way, but I don't think that's really going to help.
Come on.
Yeah, this way.
You can do it.
So you're able to get to, the front door at that point in time. The lanterns are maybe, say, 2 feet from the ground now. Ismark is going to run with the kid out the front door, and by the time you guys all filter out, Kent, you're probably the slowest with little tiny feet. So as you clear the door by about 20 feet, you hear... and you feel the intense, fiery heat of the Burgomaster mansion behind you just get engulfed immediately in flames. It goes up the first floor, up the second floor, and just causes a force of impact from this sudden explosion that pushes you off your feet. You stumble, but you are able to get to the cart with everybody else, and you all turn around as the entire building is destroyed. You guys have a moment.
Fucking overkill. Strahd.
Keep in mind, just as a note, Freak Sister, even though dead, was inside that building.
I mean...
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't really care. Callista, is going to start running after Mikhail.
Okay. So you run down the street and bank a right, and you start to get to the death house. And as you're approaching, you're noticing that a fog is starting to fall in. And in front of this fog, and on top of the roof, you see that there are some strange creatures about. You see a couple of zombies coming in from the right as they are ripping through people.
Whoa. I didn't want all this shit to happen.
You see a werewolf come in from the left and tear an old woman in half. And on top of the building, you notice that a vampire is crouched down with eyes gleaming as the fog starts to cover the building. And you hear the of the front door closing.
Cool. My bitch ass is going stealthing, and I'm gonna run away. So if I could roll for stealth, that would be awesome. Okay, well, it's a 22. So,
the vampire, you know that it's there, but you can't see anyone else anyway because it's all in fog. So you use the fog and you're like, nope, and you back up, and you're able to get back to the cart with everybody else. And as you approach back, you notice that Freak is in complete and utter tears and distress and hugging Ismark as tight as he can. And Ismark he has tears coming from his face as well. He didn't know them as well, but it's a kid. What do you expect? But he's looking at Kent and going, thank you. Thank you so much, Kent.
I'm going to run up to Kent. I'm going to hug him. And then I'm going to start hysterically crying. Because it's just too much to bear.
Kent breaks down as well.
Oh my god.
And as you start crying and Ben Richten looks at everybody,
Fuck.
It looks back at the house, and you see the house in tears.
What? The house?
The house in flames.
Everything is
Oh, so
crying.
sad.
The house is crying. The road is crying.
The house sees this reuniting, and the house just like...
Yeah, you get the panel of it kind of moving backwards, and the fire starts to disappear as you hear as the front door of Argynvost Holt opens, and Ven walks through the door.
So I'm going to talk to, as I walk in, I'm going...
For a second there, I completely forgot where everybody was, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Ven's
what I
here?
was saying. I was like, why is Ven here?
So I want to, as I'm walking in, talk to Vladimir and be like, so we have an agreement? This is what we are going to do?
I believe we do. I would recommend, since you are so friendly with him anyway, that you talk with Argynvost first. He may be able to persuade the group a little bit more as well.
That's a pretty good idea. All right. I'll walk towards I believe it's the left door that leads to is it the dining room or the library that we were in before?
It is the first door on the
Yeah,
left.
so-
I don't even actually have to look at that map. That is burned into my noggin.
Walking in that room.
As you walk in, you see the lights in the fireplace flicker as a shadow starts to grow from it and turns into the large silver dragon of Argynvost as it starts to exit the wall in its shadowy self and formulates into its human self. You have returned, Ven. However, it seems you are lacking the party you initially had. Has everything failed already?
Not everything.
Great, so just most things.
Some.
Understood.
But
This is disappointing, Vendalar.
there is a chance that we can make it better. I have been thinking on your words that you spoke to me last time we were together. You called me a weapon. A weapon is something that is used. It has a purpose. But it is who wields the weapon that is more important than the weapon itself. I have realized that we need help. And I think we can make that happen here. I may have to be the one that fights and brings down Strahd. But there is something else that can be done. We can remove some of the darkness here before that happens. If Strahd is killed, it will most likely remove the barrier that he has on this place, and the evil that is here will be spread.
That is possible. It is one of the things that I discussed with Vladimir. I take it you are having a nice chat, since you are now holding his sword.
Yes, always.
Which brings me to a question I will allow you to continue in a moment. What's happened to Ferguson, since he was the one who wielded Vladimir?
Ferguson is dead.
Great.
But I have a plan. Some of my other friends are recruiting. They are meeting back up to train and get better. I need to do the same. And what I feel I can do to help bring down Strahd is to restore the order of the Silver Dragon. Vladimir can help, and possibly you can help, to persuade the other members that are still here to help remove the darkness that infests this land. I understand Vladimir's fear. I understand that the evil can get let out. Before we take down Strahd, if we can work together, find others in Barovia that have the strength to fight, others that do not want to put up with Strahd anymore, bring them here, train them, and remove as much of the darkness as we can from this land. When we can do that, then it will be my obligation to take down Strahd.
It seems like you have given this a lot of thought.
I have.
What is Vladimir's take on this?
Well, we had a nice long talk. He agreed that if we can lessen the darkness in the area and possibly prevent many more deaths, he's okay with that. But He does not want me to be the one that wields him. He wants Godfrey to be the one to wield him.
And Argynvoss gives a little bit of a smile in his shadowy self.
He remembers that.
And Vladimir, you hear him in your head. This is going to be fun. He doesn't say that. I say that. That's a lot of NPCs going back and forth, but it's a very similar voice. He goes,
I do not know what he is talking about. Godfrey is a good soldier. He is the one who needs to lead the army.
he is, and Argynvoss finishes,
It is good to know that even in death, love still exists. If you do not know, and if Vladimir has truly forgotten, and this is some type of his subconscious, you can be assured knowing that his former husband will wield him in battle.
We did have one deal, though, and hopefully Gottfried and the other members of the Order could help with this. I said that Gottfried to wield this weapon, but the condition is that they have to help me get a weapon worthy of a soldier.
What is it you have in mind? Because I have nothing else here.
Oh, no.
Vladimir had the best weapon.
There is another weapon in this land. A sun sword that exists in a town long forgotten. It was once held by the brother of Strahd. Strahd fears it more than anything. If I can get that, if I can wield this sun sword, it will mean Strahd's end.
Well, I'm sorry to bring this to your attention, Vendalar, but if you say that it's a town long forgotten, then how do you expect to find it?
I do believe that a friend Erwin informed me that it existed here in Barovia. There is now great evil in this town, and it was apparently under attack by Strahd. It was decimated.
I know of where you speak. Tell me, is it south of Valakai?
I do believe so.
He was not kidding. This is a town of pure evil. We did battle there, the Order. But half of the Revenants that still exist in the world still fight on that battlefield with the forces of evil there. If where you need to go takes you there, then we shall train up here and complete the battle that we could not finish hundreds of years ago. I will gladly convince Godfrey to take this up. That town needs to be destroyed. So you know, in case it comes up or if you hear anything, the name of this town is Bares. You will find the town, you will see our battlefield, obviously, but there's a large river that goes through. It's relatively small in terms of towns, but it holds a very, very deep evil. I will not go there unless you are prepared to face the worst that you will ever face here, besides Strahd itself.
This is part of my plan. I have the Keepers of the Feather keeping an eye out for me, for people who are sick of Strahd's reign. They are tired of the way things are and are willing to fight their way out. And I told him if he finds them to lead them here, so that we can train them, guide them, and possibly have them help us, possibly do whatever they can to remove as much evil from Barovia as possible. And only then will we be able to take down Strahd.
Understood. I will tell you that the foe you plan to face, I'm not kidding about the evil. She is, in a word, a mother of sorts to Strahd. She protected him along the way. She, not the true mother, but one of magic, one of evil. And she is not someone to be underestimated. She defeated us at our best.
And I guess it seems we have a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do. Guthrie is upstairs. Where you met Vladimir, he can show you the way, honestly. If he can still talk to you, then have him guide you.
Great. I'll be back down in a moment.
Great. Don't be freaked out if I follow you.
I mean, it's your house. I really can't control that.
And then he goes back into the wall, and the shadow goes around and exits through a slit under the bottom of the door into the grand foyer. As you walk out of the room, and you listen to Vladimir's instructions, when you get a top-down view of the room, you see a large black shadow of a dragon underneath your feet as you step up the stairs and go through the second and third floor as you get to Godfrey's room. And you open up the door and look in to several revenants sitting around a table. And one stands up at the back of the room.
Who are you?
Fenrichten, Callista, and Kent. You all are... Where would you like to be? This is after the fire.
Is there anything not on fire? Is there like a safe point? So what, the Blood on the Vine, I think, was the only inn?
The Blood on the Vine
Barovia?
Tavern is it. You would not know this, but Kent and Callista would know this, that the church is essentially empty, as long as no one else took it over.
Well, is the town still under, like, avid attack, or...?
It seems that there are attacks going on, that's for sure. It seems that more evil is kind of showing up.
Well, I think we should regroup at the church, not at the inn.
Word.
The church is further away from the center of
Yes,
town,
that's correct.
right?
Yeah,
So we'd be further away from danger.
sure. And then Holy Ground. Can't argue with that.
Okay, so you guys are in the church. It kicks back, and even with the broken pews, you're sitting on whatever you can, scattered throughout the room, whether you're sitting on the pews, the floor, leaning against the wall, the altar, whatever it is, kind of sitting around in a circle. You guys sit around, and you hear Freak. He's out of tears. He's out of voice. He is gone. Ismark is looking off, and you hear the sound of fire crackling way in the distance.
Well, we came all this way to find you. I suppose you're Callista.
Here I am.
So, what the hell did you do to get mixed up in all of that?
I came back to protect my best friend, and I couldn't even do that. He was killing people naked in the street for some reason because I was... Well, not me, but I've heard that some people who I know burnt down a house, which they shouldn't have, and we paid the price for that at that house.
I don't really know what you're talking about here, but I've been asked to come along and help you folks. So here I am. I guess it's up to you two what you want to do. But my ultimate goal here is that if we can defeat Strahd at the end of this, little attacks like this wouldn't be a problem anymore. These little charades, hanging children over holes in ancient houses.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
I agree. And I pull my the collar of my shirt over where my noose was, and I just put my cloak hood over my head, and I just don't really say anything.
I would like to extend a hand to you, Callista, and before I actually touch you, I'm going to touch your shoulder, I ask, may I?
Yes, of course.
And I do so, and I would like to cure wounds on you as well. Okay, that'll be 16 points healed.
Thank you.
I'm not sure, but just to get rid of,
So, Callista, you feel the itchiness of your neck, of the lacerations that you had, and the irritation start to go away. But even though it's not there anymore, it's like a phantom noose around your neck. It stays with you. You can still feel it, but the pain, the physical, ramifications it did to your skin are gone.
So I don't have a scar.
You do not have a scar there.
Okay.
Basically, as the healing's happening, I want to say to Callista that before I knew the mess you were in, I was not a fan of the idea of bringing you back into this mess, into this world. I thought you were safe on your own. And I want to give you an option. Because if you continue with us, we're going to get into a lot of hard times coming up. And if you're in it, you're in it, but I want to give you a chance now where if you feel like you want to run and be safe away from this, you have that option. I can't see you go too. I've lost too many people, but I can't tell you what to do.
I know that you know who I am as a person. So what do you think that my answer is going to be?
Van Richter's laughing in a corner.
You honestly, that is the first time Kent has smirked or broken any type of hard face.
Well, alright then, if we're done with this little friendship reunion, I think we have some, shit to learn how to do. And I think we should get the fuck out of here, number one, so you can survive another day to learn it.
Where... Also, hold on. Excellent question. I had somebody whisper in my ear. It's true. Where the fuck is everybody else? Where is everybody?
I give her the rundown of the plan. So I basically tell her Van Richten is here to reunite us and bring you back into the fold. Ven decided that it would be best to have you with us, and Van Richten's here to teach us and make us stronger in this fight against Strahd. Ven, well, he's not really Ven the way you remember him anymore, but he's going off to start an army. We will reunite again after our paths reach their course on our own. After we get stronger and Ven gets some followers to our side. So, I know how much you dislike authority, but we should listen to what Van Richten has to say.
Or shit, don't, only if you have good sense.
It's true.
Shrugs. It's like, whatever.
Well, Ismark speaks
Oh
up.
yeah, sorry, Ismark's here.
So, it seems that...
The conversation is just the three of us, and all of a sudden Ismark says something, we're like,
Oh,
okay.
it's good.
I'm here.
With a crying child.
Over here.
Yeah, with the crying child.
Yeah, he stands up with Freak still in his arms. Freak is kind of exhausted, and his eyes are starting to flutter, because he's kind of tuckered out now. First off, if you don't mind me being slightly selfish here, Kent, how is Arena? Is she okay? Is she safe?
She is safe, but to be completely honest, I thought you guys were safe as well. We left her with people who oppose Strahd, and I believe she's well hidden.
Good. I was watching over this town, however, that seems to have gone poorly, to say the least. I'm torn of what I should do, especially with Freak here, and, well, just Freak, it seems. I would like to help fight Strahd with you. I cannot stand by and watch as Strahd takes over the land anymore. One punch to the face is not enough for me. Apparently I haven't learned my lesson. If you do not mind, I would like to fight alongside you. Will you have me?
Of course we will. You just cannot bring a child with you into this incredibly suicidal mission that we're going to be going on.
Perhaps we can stop by the Blue Water Inn before we begin, and
That was my thinking as well.
Danica and Erwin are great with kids.
Fantastic, and I'm sure the Freak would not mind being with Arena.
I'm sorry, is his name Freak?
Freak, F-R-E-E-K.
Freak.
Frick.
Okay. I was like, damn, your parents hate you, and then I remembered, oh shit, they really did.
Oh yeah, they sold him. Yes.
Yeah.
Then I will make sure that I do not disappoint you. Van Richten, I have heard of you. I have never gotten to meet you. It is a pleasure to meet someone as famous as you in the destruction of evil.
Let's hope you live to regret it.
I have never, unfortunately, heard of you, have I?
Make a history check.
17.
You've heard the name before. You have heard it usually in the same sentence as Venrikton, Monster, slaughtered the shit out of. Maybe not in that order, but those usually went together.
So I take,
Famous monster hunter.
So I take back what I said. I actually have heard of you. And it is a pleasure to meet you, and I hope that you can teach me some things in order to be able to give my best to take down Strahd.
Well, I can teach you a lot if you're willing to listen. A couple things I don't tolerate. Smart mouth. And, just being a bullheaded stupid, otherwise I'll shoot you. But on top of that, absolutely, I'm willing to teach you a great many things. If you'll, take this dark road with me.
I'm not stupid, but I can't say that I don't have a very fresh mouth.
Alright, then I'll only half shoot you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Fair enough.
We can get into the mechanics of half shooting people.
I smile and I just, whatever.
Me too.
I'll start walking out of wherever I am.
So as Venrikton starts to walk out, the rest of the party starts to file out as well, with Ismark and Freak behind. And Kent, you take an eye around and remember what happened here and how much death and destruction happened in just so small of a place. And you think back to when you first met Ferguson here on the doorstep next to our scene. And you recall that everything that happened only a week ago has changed. But you leave and get on the cart and start to go.
I'm gonna... Can I do something? Is that okay?
Of course.
I'm
yes.
gonna put my arm around Kent, and I'm gonna say to him, I know that you've really been through a lot, but you mean a lot to me, and I'm back now, and you don't have to worry because I'm going to take care of you, and you're going to take care of me, and we're going to be fine. Okay? Now, I love you a lot, but please don't be a little bitch. And just man the fuck up. Okay?
Venrikton is gonna cough up some mucus and then spit, trying to hide his laughter.
And I really want you to know that I really love you, which is why I'm telling you that it's gonna be okay. And Abraham died. So, even though I almost died, I didn't, but he died. So I don't, if that's not a win, I don't know what that is. So.
What the fuck?
We didn't even get to hear his voice one more time.
So as you start to file away, it kind of fades out from the church and goes back into the mansion of Argynvostholt. And you hear the conversation of Godfrey and Ven as enters the room.
So I'm talking to...
I would say you are in the middle of explaining yourself.
Okay. I would then want to at least say, basically, instead of explaining it myself, I would like to have the sword, like, in my hands and see if we can have...
You're going to have a three-way with the sword?
Yes,
Is that
we're
what
going to
I'm
have a three-way with the sword.
Ouchies.
Basically, see if I can have him, like, hold onto the sword and also hear Vladimir, so that way he can also explain some of the conversation as well. Three-way call.
Three-way call with his husband's sword.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so Godfrey, just so you know what he looks like, he's wearing just pure black armor with a lot of, I don't know what you would call it. It's kind of like a collar, but it goes like up and covers the neck.
Oh man, I should have took his armor. His armor's way cooler than this one.
Pure white hair going back and a very skeletal face with blood red eyes. However, he does not seem as evil as Vladimir was. He seems to have more of a semblance of what's going on. And I'm not going to have you explain it for like a third time what you want to do.
Yeah, thank you, please. Thank God.
You're welcome. And he lets go of the sword very hesitantly, because he just got to talk to Vladimir, who he thought he just lost. Even in undeath, he thought he would never lose Vladimir again. But Godfrey blatantly remembers Vladimir was the one who didn't. And Godfrey goes,
I understand your plan. Honestly, the only thing that would have held me back was Vladimir, but he seems to be on board. He was the person you needed to convince, not me. How many do you need and where?
As many as we can get. And Perez.
Perez. Well, considering the fact that if I die, I'll be back tomorrow, along with everybody else, I would gladly kill the shit out of everyone there, especially in the name of the Order of the Silver Dragon. You do not need to worry about that. However, I will tell you, it will take a long while to break through the ranks that is there. There is a lot of evil that exists at that location.
Well, while you are churning through and doing that, I will be doing my part in restoring the Order to what it once was. I am going to try and pull in more people in the lands of Barovia to help us.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan. You mentioned before you want the Keepers of the Feather to help us out. That sounds great. It's a very good spy network. I think that will work swimmingly.
But once we can break through the ranks in Berez, I will give this sword to you. That way you and Vladimir can be together. In Berez there is a weapon that I need. If I can get that, he's all yours.
You don't see him smile, but you see him just give a look of, you understand. A look of peace in his eyes.
I would very much appreciate that.
Do what you need to do for now, but when you are ready, I will gladly
take Vladimir back into battle and smite the hell that Strahd has brought down on this realm. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a Keeper of the Feather with me yet, or no?
No.
No, okay.
They were just following you. They did not make any contact.
Okay, cool.
So, as you make that deal and you shake hands, it goes to a scene that none of you see. You are at Madame Eva's... Not you, I would say. The audience is at Madame Eva's tent.
The lovely listeners to this.
And Madame Eva is...
Hello, nice to see you.
Madame Eva is sitting at her table, and all of a sudden she sits up and listens to a noise that you don't hear. And her eyes kind of dial back. And out of her hand comes a card that fell onto the table during your reading. This card pointed to a dusk elf that existed in a Vistani town. And it catches fire and disappears. And in its place is a new card, resembling an executioner. And she smiles. She puts it down on the table and reads to herself.
Seek out the brother of the Devil's Bride. They call him the Lesser, but he has a powerful soul.
And as she finishes saying that, Ismark, who's walking behind all of you, stops, peeks his ears a little bit, shakes it off, and continues to walk behind all of you. As you walk to the cart, you hop on, and it starts to travel down the road. And you watch it as it travels back to where it went, where it came from, and approaches the gates of Valakai. The gates of Valakai open up as the carts go inside and closes. And then fades out and fades back in at the same gates. As you hear as undead starts to approach the gate. As they start to get to the gate, you hear as a bullet enters and leaves the direct center of the undead soul that was approaching the gate. And the vision cuts to an older Kent at the gate, shooting forward. What does Kent look like a year later?
So Kent's whispers of a beard are now fully formed, like a dirty blonde beard. So there's a scar that goes right across the top, but like not, it doesn't affect his eye, but you could see that it goes like right across his eye, and he is visibly like more muscular than he was before. his little like boyish look about him. I mean, he's still 2.5 feet tall, or 3.5 feet tall. 3.5 feet tall, so it's not really like he doesn't look like a boy, but he looks like a man now. And he smirks as the undead is shot through the head.
Cool. And as you fire, you look up and you look back and you go to train on another undead zombie that is approaching the gate. And this one is sliced in half from behind as a armored, more grizzled, confident Ismark slices him from shoulder to hip and kicks the top part of the body off and slices his sword straight through its head and picks it up and smiles and salutes you at the gate. A little bit too cocky, though, because a wolf goes to launch onto him, but another bullet passes through the wolf midair, and Kent smiles next to a very in-the-moment, run-of-the-mill time for Van Richten. How does Van Richten look a year later?
Well, first he says, "Goddamn idiot," and then is like training his gun on the next thing about to attack Ismark. He's a little bit grayer, a little bit, he's on the later end of his 50s, so he doesn't look much different at this point. Just complains a lot more.
Have to admit, though, was a good kill.
You're only at 12. You can do better.
And then as you say that, you see the bright flash above you, and the camera trains in the distance as another wolf is running with a pack of about 3. And right through the center lands a bright, magical arrow. Callista, would you like to explain how that looks and how you look?
Yeah, fuck it up. She has her hood up as usual, but her hair is incredibly long. It's almost down to her waist, and you could see through a little bit of light that her whole neck going up towards her cheeks are all tattooed now.
Badass. Cool. So you see the arrow arc cut through the wolf, and right next to them, you see another gunshot go off, another gunshot go off, and you're just launching as a team that has done this countless times. You are guarding the gates of Valakai against the undead.
Do we hear the Avengers theme?
Yes, you hear the Avengers theme, but not quite.
I want all of that done like the Hugo Stiglitz thing in Inglourious Bastards, where every time someone does something, it's just like big bold letters of their name pop up, and it's like, BOW!
Hugo Stiglitz!
That's fucking sick.
Sure, yes, absolutely.
Also, can I do one thing? And I don't care because it's happening if I have to expend a fucking slot for this, because it's happening right now, Josh.
As long as you can do it, yes.
Yes, I can do it. I'm going to cast how many more of these?
How cool do you want this to look? Because I'm not doing combat, this is narrative here. We're saying how badass you guys are.
I want it to be fucking awesome. So I want like a whole pack of wolves coming, right? Just a whole pack of wolves. They're just running towards us. And I'm gonna cast Enlarge on Kent, and he's gonna turn into a 6'11" motherfucker. And he's gonna get mad swole, okay? And he is just gonna start shooting these motherfuckers in the face. And I just wanna let y'all know that my potential for this character is real high. only because she can use Enlarge on Kent 4 times in a fucking match. So I'm sick. So you're 6'11" now.
Cool, I'm going to pose something to you. First, Callista, would you have given your silver short sword potentially to Kent?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the silver short sword that was gained in the Death House now belongs to Kent. Kent, when you were enlarged, is this a thing that you would have done with Callista, to go out there and put your gun away and start slicing through things as a badass bastard?
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Does the sword grow as well, or is it just me?
You do extra damage when you're enlarged, so I would say that it is growing as well. Sure.
Yeah, this is something that we've practiced, and Kent
multiple
loves
times.
every second of it.
Yes. Cool. So you exit the gate, and as you're walking and then start to pick up as a run, Callista casts this, and you grow, and you are now like human size going on to Goliath. Like you are getting there. The this is normal to you now, not normal to the audience. It's a little off-putting, but it's fine. It's cool. It's badass. And you go through and start hacking through the wolves. And anything that you're missing is being trained on by Ismark, by Van Richten, by Callista, and some of the town guard that are around. You guys clear out any of the people, any of the evil that was coming into the town, just like you did every week since you got back.
Oh my god, if I fire my gun, can it just
a hand cannon?
Completely blow whatever I shoot up? Like, not even like goes through, no, like completely
your handgun turns into a
disintegrating
magnum.
Yeah.
For this, yeah, to keep it realistic, all these creatures that you are facing are like the lower like challenge rating, so you're able to just blow through these. It's not a problem. But it's the normal threat that comes to the town every single week or every day. But you take care of this all the time when you're not in between clearing out different dens of evil that are around the area. After a few minutes of slaughtering the dead, it seems that everything has calmed down. You pass everything back off to the guards, and you walk back to the inn where you tend to stay. If there's anything you guys would like to say that may be different, or talk about what you were doing, or a past mission that you may have done, have at it. Have fun.
I just want to sit my old ass down.
All right. Erwin comes to the table and gives you your normal drinks.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna down mine really quickly and say, can I actually get 3 more, please?
I already have 5 coming out. Don't worry.
Thank you.
And I basically want to turn to the other party members and say, enjoy your drinks now. But there's got to be more that we can clear out. I want to get back out there. Let's do this.
Who are you, bro?
Bro.
I'm just gonna look at him, put my feet up on the table, and say, I just did an incredible amount of work, so I'm going to rest, and as are you, and we'll get back out there maybe tomorrow when I'm not hungover. So just relax, okay?
Fine.
Have I ever been wrong? Have I ever lied to you?
I count 8 times. 8 times, yeah.
8 times.
But
Okay.
this might be 9.
I would like to interrupt this, throw back my glass, put it down on the table. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and, you both have learned, well, I guess you're a hell of a lot smarter than I thought you both were. You've learned a lot in this time. And if you all think you're ready, I'd like to be rid of you and, contact Ven again.
Yeah. We should probably do that.
I think we're about there.
Do we have any word of what he's up to? Like, have we heard anything? If he's, like, ready or if he's close to being ready?
You've been getting updates, like kind of like war updates, from were-ravens that are scouting the area. They've been keeping track of Ven's movements and where the army has been slaughtering. They've been concentrating on a few areas. They've been concentrating on Berez. And after hearing about what hell went through Barovia, and that Mikhail's body is now being held hostage, essentially, in the death house. Ven, correct me if I'm wrong, would you have sent some soldiers there to start clearing out some evil?
Fuck yes.
Cool. So that has been going as well. And you've been hearing news about either front. It seems that there is a lot of headway going in both locations, but that is all that you've been hearing.
Well, I'm just gonna look at Kent and I'm gonna say, for all of the times that you have trusted me, we are going to get back to Ven very shortly. I personally believe that when he is ready, he will come to us. We've done literally everything that this town has asked for. And one day of just relaxing is perfectly fine. Okay?
You see Ismark come into the room, and because he was outside, he was talking to somebody, one of the were-ravens. And which he does. He's usually the person that they contact and let them know about the war updates. And he comes in with a uncharacteristic smile on his face. More of a smirk.
Everyone, that was fantastic work as always. However, I think our next mission will make you incredibly happy.
And he puts a piece of paper down on the table. And there's only a few words on that piece of paper, but you're able to read it very clear as day, even though it's kind of chicken scratch raven handwriting.
Barovia is ready for you.
Taking Initiative is a product of the Spark Network. Imagine what your idea can do. For updates on the show, future news, and all things nerd, visit us on thespark.network. If you wish to conjure us on social media, you can cast message on Twitter with the handle @TI_pod, Facebook at the Taking Initiative Podcast page, and Tumblr at takinginitiativepodcast.tumblr.com. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on iTunes, as it helps us grow so we can put out more content for you.
I'm Josh Perot, and I'm the DM. You can find me on Twitter at XyroxisTheBeard. That's XIROXIS the Beard.
This is Jonathan Buckmaster. I am the voice of Vendelar Greymeyer. You can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Masters.
This is Nicholas Figueroa, and I play the sometimes rude but always lovable Kent Brickwood of the East Farthing Brickwoods. You could find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Nico Figs. That's at NIKOFIGS.
And guest starring Donna Fenimore as Callista Bergensen and Celeste Konowich as Rudolph Van Richten. You can find Donna on Twitter at critical_crumbs and Celeste on Twitter at @CKonowich or on her podcast, The Venture Maidens. This episode was edited by John Buckmaster and Josh Perot. The original artwork for the logo was created by Kati Kawaguchi of Nerds on a Roll. You can find her on Twitter at @KidKatie. All modifications for the arc were done by Josh Perot. The theme song was created by Neil Martin of The Lucky Die. You can find him on Twitter at Bardic Martin. All additional music found in the episode was created by Kevin MacLeod in the Incompetech website. Any additional information about the songs played in this episode can be found in the episode's description. John Buckmaster played a dual class between the Pendragon by Dareside Phantom on Reddit and the Oath of Vengeance Paladin from the 5th edition Player's Handbook. Donna Fenimore played a dual class between the School of Arcane Archery Wizard from the Handbook of Craftiness by Ludo8 on Reddit and the Scout Rogue found in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. The Gunslinger class played by Nick Figueroa was created by Matthew Mercer. The D&D 5e rule set and the Curse of Strahd module are both property of Wizards of the Coast. If you enjoyed the show and would like to support us, please visit us at patreon.com/Taking Initiative. There you can find early access to episodes and bonus content.